My Life So Far by Enrique Garcia, with illustrations by Ignacio Gomez. My Life So Far by Enrique Garcia. For as long as I can remember, I have liked drawing and designing things, but I like other things too: science, music, computers, writing. My mom comes from a small village in Mexico. She did not have the chance to get a very good education. That's why she always encouraged me to do well in school. You can become anything you want to be, Enrique, she said. When I was in 5th grade, my mom was hurt in an accident. She knew that she would not be able to take me places for a while. So Mom signed me up for the Big Brother program. That's how I met Art Chmielewski. When Art and I first met, I was very shy. I listened to everything Art said, but I didn't say much myself. Still, I always had fun hanging out with Art. I was glad that I was there when Art won a trophy for tennis. Even after Mom was well again, Art and I continued to do things together. Sometimes we go to the ball game or other fun places. In middle school, I became friendly with some kids who loved comics. I had never read a comic book before, but as soon as I did, I was fascinated. I started making drawings based on my favorite comics. I drew every day. This is one cartoon I drew. Can you tell why I call it Ketchup Wonderland? My interest in comics brought Art and me closer together. He told me that his father was one of the most famous cartoonists in Poland. Art encouraged me to keep drawing. Art even lent me a computer. Now you can work on your drawing and learn new things, all at the same time, he said. I loved creating new things on the computer. I learned how to make drawings. Later, I began making my own games and programs. I was also interested in Art's job. Art designs special satellite and spacecraft equipment for NASA space program. He works as a project manager for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL for short. Art likes to make jokes, so I thought he was kidding when he said, "As soon as you're old enough to work, I'll get you a job at JPL." In the spring of 1997, soon after I turned 16, an application for JPL's summer intern program showed up in my mailbox. Immediately, I filled it out and mailed it back. That summer, I started working at JPL. Now Art was my boss. Art showed me around the Space Inflatables department. The people who work there find ways to fit large things like satellites and antennas into small spaces on NASA's spacecraft. They explained that when things reach their destination, they can be inflated or filled up with gas. Then they get really big enough to do the job they were designed to do. I really liked that idea. That July, NASA landed a spacecraft called Pathfinder on the planet Mars. A little robotic machine called the Sojourner rover was part of the mission. It explored the planet's surface. One day I heard Art tell some engineers about problems with the rover. It took a long time to go around rocks and get out of ditches. It needed more power. When Art and the engineers went to launch, I thought about how the rover used a flat solar array for power. When the solar array was not facing the sun, it could not collect the sun's energy to make power for the rover. What if the solar array could be round and inflatable like a big balloon? That way the solar array could collect energy from the sun no matter which direction it was facing. I drew a computer model that showed what the round array would look like. When Art came back from lunch, I showed him my ideas. "I think this design could work," he said. "Let's see what my bosses will think." Art helped me plan a presentation. I prepared overhead sheets and wrote a speech, just like anyone else who has to present ideas to supervisors at JPL. My design was accepted. A budget of over $1,000 was approved to build the first prototype of my design. At the end of the summer, I went back to finish high school. I was thrilled that my design might end up on Mars, but I still had to do the things that all teenagers have to do. For months, I was very busy with my schoolwork. In June, I graduated. I was glad that my mom and Art were there to help me celebrate. After graduation, I returned to my summer job at JPL. Art showed me the latest prototypes for the new rover. One was 4 feet tall and 4 feet wide, yet it was so light a person could pick it up with just one hand. At first I was disappointed. The solar array had been changed from the balloon shape I had drawn to an umbrella shape, but it was cool to see my drawings turn into something real. I felt that I had done something really big. That summer, I got to work on one of JPL's websites. I did some video editing, created artwork, and wrote and designed web pages. Here is some of the artwork I created that is on the site for JPL project. Because of my work at JPL, I was interviewed on TV, magazines, and newspaper articles were written about my ideas. Photographers came and took pictures, like this one, of me and my mom. Mom was so proud. As I write this book, I am beginning something new. I'm majoring in film at college. Here I am with some of my classmates. I hope that someday soon I'll be making films and videos of my own. My experiences at JPL and my relationship with art helped me learn about more than computers and space. I also learned that if you find something that you are good at, you shouldn't be shy. Use your talent. Show others what you can do.